you wanna save money, on the best tech, value tech sense, value tech sense. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another video. This is gonna be a very quick video. I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is for everybody out there in the comment section that's been asking me for settings for the Vizio M Series H1 of 2020-2021. I hadn't done picture settings because of the local dimming issue, but that is supposed to come down in a firmware update. There should be an improvement to the local dimming, but I have came up with some settings that look very good on this TV. All right, this TV has great tone mapping, though it's a glitchy TV. As I said, there are fixes coming down in a firmware update, but as the TV is, as it stands right now, with the current firmware update, I do have some picture settings, and we are going to get into it right now. The first one we're going to do, since I have this pulled up, is the Xbox One X settings. All right, I do not have the Xbox Series X, but if you have an Xbox One X, this is my Xbox One X settings. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, first thing you want to do to get the most out of the TV's tone mapping as far as HDR games is concerned, first thing you want to do is go over to your settings, go to TV and display options, and you want to go down here and calibrate HDR for games. All right, I'm going to briefly walk you through this without reading the entire thing to you, but you click on that, it will go into its HDR mode. All right, and to calibrate this, you just basically follow the instructions, but I'm going to briefly walk you through it. All right, let's go to next. On this first pattern, all right, there's a checkered pattern there. You basically, let me brighten it up. If you can see in the middle of the screen, there's a checkerboard pattern there. You want to dim this all the way down till you can barely see the checkerboard pattern. All right, you don't want it invisible, but to give you the best shadow detail I guess you can get, you want to dim this all the way down till you can barely see the checkerboard pattern. All right, and then it's set. On the next one, on this one, all right, let me darken it so you can see the checkerboard pattern is there in the middle. You actually want to brighten this so you don't see the checkerboard pattern at all. So once the checkerboard pattern is invisible, then it is set. TV's jumping in and out of HDR10. Like I said, this TV is glitchy. It does do that. Sometimes when I'm watching movies, when I'm watching Dolby Vision on Netflix, the HDR will just blink in and out. So hopefully that's something that they will fix in the upcoming firmware update. But moving on, all right, once you have this set to where you no longer see the checkerboard pattern, you go to the next one. Same with this one. All right, I'm just going to darken it. You can see the checkerboard pattern is there. You actually want to brighten this so you no longer see the checkerboard pattern. All right, I can barely see it there. I move it over once and it's gone. All right, it says move it over so all the blocks have the same brightness. That means no patterns visible at all. Once you do that, then it will be set. As you can see, the image on the right is an uncalibrated image where there's a lot of clipping, and the one on the left, you can see all of the details in the highlights without clipping. So you want to do that first. All right, now that we have that done and out of the way, let's get into the settings. Now, on my Xbox One X settings, let's go over to the menu. As you can see, it says Xbox One X. Now, I started off in gaming, so you want to go to your gaming setting on the Vizio H1 in picture modes. I started out in picture mode, picture mode gaming, and then I started to do these settings. All right. Backlight is on 100, brightness on 50, contrast on 50, color is 52, tint is 0, sharpness at 25, color temperature is warm, picture aspect is normal, go to advanced picture, edge enhancement is on low, active full array on medium, motion control, no need to mess with that, no need to mess with reduced noise. As you will see, they are all grayed out. All right, and I'm going to explain that. In the Pro Gaming Engine, I have everything set to on. Game low latency on, variable refresh rate set to on, game HDR is set to on. All right. Gamma, I have it set to 2.4 as it will help with your black levels until they get the firmware out there to help with the local dimming. But right now, I have that set to 2.4, and enhanced viewing angle I have set to off. Now in game mode, you will have all of this super resolution, local contrast, and this reduced noise, all of this picture processing. These things are grayed out because in game mode, you want to have as less picture processing as possible so you can have the lowest input lag when you're gaming. So these things will be grayed out to give you the better input lag. All right, but in game mode, the TV is sharp. It's not a soft image at all. It looks great in game mode. All right, and I started off in game mode, and these are my gaming settings. Now, one thing to note about these Xbox One X settings, these settings will work on your dashboard as well as when you're gaming in SDR. So one good thing about it, I'm just going to show you briefly. I'm going to pull up a game. Let's go to a game that's not in HDR. I'm going to pull up this UFC. All right, we're in the Xbox One X gaming settings. And on your dashboard, these settings will remain the same. And when you play games in SDR, they will remain the same. All right. It's gonna let the game load up so you can see that. All right, just turning that down a little bit, but these are the Xbox One X settings. All right. Now, one thing to note, all right, I'm just gonna close out of this game. Let's close out of that. If you go into a game that is HDR, all right, these settings will automatically change to an HDR setting. So I'm gonna open up, let's open up an HDR game, Mortal Kombat 11. Let's just open that up. That way I can give you my HDR 10 settings for gaming. And these will work when you go into your HDR games. But the reason I didn't make a separate picture mode for these is because the Vizio will automatically switch to HDR 10 settings in gaming. So that is a good feature. So if you're playing a game in SDR, the settings that I just gave you, they will remain the same. But if you go into an HDR game and that HDR kicks in, then those settings will change. So if I open up the menu, you will see that it says HDR 10 on the left, picture mode HDR 10, but it still says Xbox One X because these settings automatically switched. All right. So let's go over my HDR 10 Xbox One X settings. As I have the tone mapping on 100, brightness on 46, contrast on 52, color on 65, tint 0, sharpness on 30, color temperature is normal. Let's go to advanced picture. Edge enhancement is set to off. Active full array is on medium. Motion control and reduced noise, no need to worry about those. Programming engine, I already showed y'all, all of those are set to on. On this one, I have the gamma set at 2.2. Enhanced viewing angle, I don't know why this is set to on, but I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off. All right, enhanced viewing angle, set that to off. Those are my HDR 10 gaming settings for the Xbox One X. All right, I'm just gonna go into this little learn mode and just show you that the TV does look amazing, man. On I can't imagine how it's gonna look when they improve the black levels, but I'm just gonna open this up. go to a map and just show you how amazing it looks. Very sharp. It's very contrasty. The only thing that it needs improving on is the black levels, but it looks phenomenal. I really enjoy gaming on this TV. As you can see, very contrasty. The tone mapping, nothing is clipping. It just looks great. All right. But I want to show you real quick while I got y'all right here before we move on to the other settings. I'm just gonna go to picture mode. As you can see, it says picture mode HDR10, Xbox One X, right? Now I'm gonna go into the dashboard and I'm just gonna go home, and you will see the settings automatically changed. All right, so out of the game, dashboard, these are the Xbox One X settings. Once you get those set, they will be set. You go down to let's see, you go down to, let's go down here. This is a part I skipped, sorry if the video's all over the place, but after you get this set, the first one, the dashboard, the SDR one, you go down to picture mode, edit, save the picture mode, hit save, you name it, and it'll be set and it won't change. And if you lock the picture mode, if you hit lock on this and you turn that on, you put a pin code in there, and then all of the settings will be grayed out so they can't be changed. All right, if you want to lock your picture mode and not be able to and put a pin code in so they stay that way. But you go to save the picture mode, go to picture mode edit, and you can save the picture mode. Once you do that, it will save as whatever you named it. But yeah, if you see right here on the Xbox One X setting, when I'm on the dashboard, there's the setting. If I go back into Mortal Kombat, when the HDR10 pops up, if you can see the settings, they automatically switched. They automatically switched. So once you get your Xbox One X settings set, you set those, and then the only way to change your HDR settings so that it switches automatically and those settings stay the same, you have to put in an HDR10 game or put something that's in HDR10 in before you put these settings in. All right, so brief review. All right, I'm gonna go back to home. So once you're on your home screen, you're on your dashboard, you go ahead and put these settings in and you save them, and they will stay the same. So these will be your dashboard settings, these will be your SDR gaming settings, and they will stay the same. Once you put in an HDR10 game, or you're doing anything in HDR10, you turn that on, then you will be able to go into the settings again and make those changes. And once you make those changes, they will switch all by themselves. All right, so if you're in an SDR game, it's going to do the SDR gaming settings. And if you are playing an HDR10 game, it will automatically switch to the HDR10 settings. All right, and it looks great. So those are my Xbox One X settings. I am going to switch over to the PS4 Pro, and we will go over those settings. All right, here we are, PS4 Pro. Let's jump right into the settings. Before we jump into the settings, I gotta show y'all how to get set up first. All right, let me show you how to get set up. As many of you will not be able to get into the settings because some of the settings have been locked. We're gonna address that right now. As let me go over to the settings on the PS4 Pro. Let's go down to sound and screen. All right, when you go down to sound and screen on your PS4 Pro, go to video output settings, and right here where it says resolution, if y'all have this set on automatic, change that to 2160p YUV420. All right, this is why your settings are locked and you can't change them. So if I go over here and set this to automatic, let me just put that on automatic real quick, show you real time. Let's go over here to picture. As when you, this is my PS4 Pro setting, but let me jump into the game mode, because that's where you want to start off to get these settings going. You want to start in game mode. We'll go down here. You'll see that contrast, color, tint, and sharpness is blocked off. All right. And these have nothing to do with messing up your input lag. But to correct that, you just want to go into here where it says automatic, go down to 2160p, YUV 420, click on that, and then your settings will be unlocked. And you'll be able to adjust your contrast, your color, your tint, and your sharpness. All right. So you want to start off in game mode. Then we'll go in here. Let me just go back to my PS4 Pro setting. All right. And before we get into that, just like on the Xbox, you want to adjust your HDR. Just click next, follow the instructions on screen. All right, I'm going to go through it with you briefly. Press the left and right buttons to adjust the brightness until the logo is almost invisible. All right, so if I go over here and make it darker, you can clearly see it. What I do is I go all the way over until it's invisible. Then I click it over to the left just once. When it's visible, then it's set. All right. So if it's like this, just go all the way over till you can't see it at all. And then click it over once. When you can see it, it's barely visible, it's set. All right. Same with this one. I've already done it, but you can see it's clearly there. I will click over until it's invisible. Then I'll click over just once till it's barely visible and it's set. Same with this one. All right. As you can see, this symbol in the middle, I will click that all the way over until it's invisible. Then when I move it over once and it's barely visible, it is set. All right. You want to adjust your HDR. And just like on the Xbox, the settings that I give you, my SDR and HDR settings are pretty much the same on the PS4 Pro, but I'm gonna show it to you out of game and in game so you can get them both. All right, but let's just jump right into it. PS4 Pro setting, this ambient light sensor set to off. My backlight is on 100, brightness at 47, contrast 52, colors 52, tint 0, sharpness at 25, color temperatures are normal. Let's go down to advanced picture. I don't switch this picture aspect. Let's go to advanced picture. Edge enhancement is off. Active full array is on medium. Motion control, make sure you have the clear action. It should be set to off by default, but make sure that it's off. It's actually grayed out, but let's go to reduce noise. All these are all that motion processing is off, so you have the lowest input lag. All right, Pro Gaming Engine right here. You'll see that the variable refresh rate is set to on, even though the PS4 Pro doesn't have variable refresh rate. It's just set to on. I don't bother these at all. All right, you're not going to get variable refresh rates on a PS4 Pro anyway, so I just don't bother those. Everything here is set to on. Gamma is set to 2.4 and enhanced viewing angle is set to off. All right, gamma is 2.4. I have it down that low because, like I said, it's just going to help out with your black levels until they get the new firmware out that's supposed to enhance the black levels. So that's how I have it set. I'm actually going to go into this Madden and let the HDR actually kick in, because I think these settings are pretty much about the same, but I'm going to give you the HDR10 settings as well. I think these were pretty close, but let's get into it. Let's give that a moment to kick in to HDR10. All right, it kicked into HDR10. And my settings are tone mapping is on 100, brightness 47, contrast 52, colors 52, tint 0, sharpness at 25, color temperature is normal. Advanced picture, that edge enhancement on low, go ahead and turn that to off. All right, no need to have that on. Active full array is on medium. Motion control, of course, all those are off. No processing, give you the lowest input lag. We already went over the Pro Gaming Engine, all that is set to on. And the gamma is 2.4, enhanced viewing angle is set to off. All right, so I think those are pretty much the same. Those are my settings for the PS4 Pro. And let's move on to HDR for movies. Right, HDR10. These are my HDR10 settings. If you're watching, I'm actually on Prime Video right now, Amazon Prime Video. That's one of the internal apps in SmartCast as well. As you can see, we are HDR10 2160p. But I would expect this to work for your Ultra HD Blu-rays if they're HDR10. These are my settings. All right, let's get into it. And I only expect these to improve, as Vizio said they were gonna put a firmware update out that were gonna improve the black levels and the brightness. So these should improve as well. But as it stands, as of right now, with the current firmware update that we have right now, these are my HDR10 settings. Picture mode, HDR10. I got my tone mapping on 100. Oh yeah, by the way, I started off in the bright picture mode. All right, the only way to get these HDR10 picture modes to pull up, you have to make sure you're watching something in HDR10, and then you'll see the HDR10 pop up beside the picture mode. Once it does that, go ahead and switch to the bright picture mode that's in the default bright mode. That's the one that I started off in, and then I created these settings. All right, so you want to start off in bright once you have something in HDR10 on the screen, and then we'll get into it. So you go to tone mappings on 100, brightness on 49, contrast at 52, color at 65, tint 0, sharpness on 25, color temperature is normal, picture aspect normal. Go to advanced picture, black detail is set to off. Excuse me. Edge enhancement set to off. Local contrast, I have it set to medium. Active full array set to medium. Motion control, though, that is set to off. Leave clear action off. Reduce noise, I have signal noise on low. Block noise I have set to high, and contour smoothing I have set to low. All right, that's in the reduce noise menu. Signal noise low, block noise high, contour smoothing is set to low. All right, film mode I have set to on. Gamma is set at 2.2, and enhanced viewing angle is set to off. So that is my HDR10 setting as of right now. I think this will give you pretty good HDR, but I only expect the HDR to improve with the firmware updates that's coming out. But that's my HDR10 setting. Let's move on to Dolby Vision. All right, let's get into Dolby Vision. This is Our Planet on the Netflix. I'm using Netflix on the Netflix app, but let's dive into Dolby Vision. All right, Dolby Vision. This one, I forgot what picture mode I started off in. It was either calibrated or the bright mode. But once you pull something up in Dolby Vision, you'll be able to adjust the settings. Just make sure when you turn on Netflix and you turn on something in Dolby Vision where it says picture mode, the Dolby Vision logo pops up on the screen, and you'll be able to jump into these settings. And I would either start in bright or calibrated, but I'm not sure which one I started off in. But everyone that always asks me that, I usually start off in calibrated or calibrated dark. But with the new Vizio, I like the bright mode because it starts off bright, and you want as much brightness as you can get, and then you want to start adjusting. So I probably started in bright, but let's just dive into it. All right. I got the tone mapping on 100, brightness on 50, contrast on 50, color is 65, tint 0, sharpness on 20, color temperature is normal, though the warm color temperature setting also looks good on here. That's just your preference. You can either go with the warm or the normal. The cool will add some brightness to it. It might be a little too cool for some people. I think the normal is a good median in between cool and warm. All right, but you can play with that to see which one looks the best to you. But for right now, I just go with normal on mine. Picture aspect, that is set to normal. Advanced picture, black detail is off. Edge enhancement is off. Active full array is set to medium. Motion control, clear action is set to off. Reduce noise, I have the signal noise on low, block noise on low, contour smoothing on low. Let's see, film mode is set to on, gamma is 2.2. All right, and enhanced viewing angle I have set to off. These are my Dolby Vision picture settings. And like I said, after you set the settings, go to picture mode, edit, hit save picture mode. You can name it, and then it will stay. All right, but these are my Dolby Vision settings. Like I said, these look really good on the warm setting as well. I really like that warm in Dolby Vision. So if you're watching something in Dolby Vision, try it in warm and normal. It really depends on the content. I'm somebody that likes to switch depending on what I'm watching. Different movies, different shows, they actually grade them and color grade them differently, and sometimes the warm looks better, sometimes the normal looks better. But you could try that out, see how it goes. I got one more picture setting, and that's for the watch-free Pluto TV, as I don't have cable, but I will give you the setting that I think looks the best to me so far as watching Pluto TV watch-free. All right, let's get into it. Alright, this is the last picture setting that we're going to get into. I cut the cord a long time ago. This is the free, watch-free Pluto TV on the Vizio that you can find in SmartCast. So if you're out there, you're thinking about cutting the cord on cable, these are the settings for watch-free. I do not have cable, but if you have cable, you can try these out with your cable sources. Alright, so let's just dive into it. Briefly, I named this watch free, and I think I started off in the calibrated dark picture setting on this one. All right, let's briefly get into it. Ambient light sensor is off, backlight on 100, brightness is 47, contrast on 50, color is on 60, tint 0, sharpness is on 30, color temperature is normal, picture aspects normal. Let's go to advanced picture. Black detail is off, super resolution I have on high, edge enhancement I have on high, as all that upscaling and everything to make the picture look as clear as you want. That's all that is turning all that on high. All right, local contrast is off, active full array is on medium, motion control I have clear action set to off, reduce noise I have signal noise on high, block noise on high, and contour smoothing I have set to low. All right, film mode I have set to on, gamma is 2.2, and enhanced viewing angle is set to off. All right, so most of the content on watch free Pluto TV is 720p, but I mean it looks better than 720p to me, so I can't really say as far as how good it upscales compared to other TVs, but it looks good to me. So if you're cutting the cord or using watch free TV, these are my picture settings. I named them watch free. That is the video. I hope these settings works out for y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments section how these settings work out for y'all, and if y'all have any settings recommendations, shoot them in the comments section. I will try them out. All right, till the next time, y'all. Thanks for watching.